What's up, Internet World? We're the News 19 Nerds. I'm Leroy.
Who are you?
I'm Leroy.
Where you been?
Don't worry about that.
I've been holding this down by myself.
It's about time you did some work.
I mean, I guess, man. It's good to have you back. I'm Michael. Yeah, it's good to have you back, man. I know you don't want to be back. You got other stuff you could be doing, but I'm glad you're back.
You want to hug it out?
I mean, hey.
Social distance?
If I wasn't, because I mean, we're already pushing the social distance here. If I wasn't concerned that there's a way that our boss would see this and see us hugging might kill us, I would do it. But, yeah.
Yeah, I was gone for a little while. I was
Yeah.
on paternity leave. And then,
baby.
Yep. So.
He's still angry, though, so.
Oh, that ain't gonna change.
Yeah. He's nice to the baby. He's still angry.
Oh, they
at
were
us.
like, they're clapping. I was like, hey, we ain't doing that. We're not. No, stop. No, this ain't changed. I'm still the same dude.
I'm still angry all the time.
Avery flipped me off, and I was like, I can respect that.
So, what are we talking about?
So the last thing, or one of the things that came out while I was gone, was Old Guard with Charlize Theron. Mm-hmm. That is how you say your name.
What did you say?
Charlize Theron.
Charlize?
Is it
I thought it was Char.
Char?
Charlize.
Like Charmander?
Yeah, no, because that's Charmander. That's hard.
Ch?
Yes.
So it's not Charmander?
No, it's Charmander.
Charmander.
Yeah.
But she's Charlize.
I think.
In the comments, let
You
me
let us know.
Is it
If
Charmander?
it's a hard ch sound.
Is it a
or
hard
sh?
ch? Is it a sh?
Yeah, let us know.
Those of you guys from South Africa, I know that's where she's from.
Yes. But yeah, Old Guard came out.
Came out Friday.
Yeah.
And I came back to work Monday.
You did, man. What a way to come back. So I mean, let's start with the off the top non-spoiler stuff. Did we like it?
You go first.
That's never a good sign. I enjoyed it as somebody who didn't know. Now, is this a comic book or just a graphic novel?
Was
Or is
4
it a combination
issues.
of both?
It was 4 issues by Greg Rucka and I'm trying to remember what the artist's name, and I hate not remembering. But the artist is the one who did 100 Bullets. Oh, I cannot remember.
Okay.
What his name is. It might be in trivia. Hold on one second.
I don't know who it is, but yeah, somebody who didn't read the source material, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Definitely feels like a Netflix movie. I think we're starting to get into this trend of, oh, this feels like a Netflix movie. This feels like a big budget movie. Mm-hmm. It definitely felt like a Netflix movie, which is fine. It was something to watch. I enjoyed it. I would go back and watch it again. They left room for a sequel opportunity. I would see a sequel. I liked how all the characters were portrayed. And yeah, I thought it was fun.
Give me 1 second, guys, because it's really bothering me that I cannot remember this guy's name. But anyway, that's not him.
That was not him.
Yeah.
Not the soccer player.
So, I read these issues. I have all of them. I was going to bring them in, but then I got sidetracked.
Happens.
I bought some things on the internet. I started playing Gears of War 5. And
You're welcome.
and I got distracted. So I have all the issues. I was excited for this. I was excited, but cautious.
Cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic because The Last Days of American Crime, which is another graphic novel that came out and then was transported or transformed into.
That's also on Netflix, right?
On Netflix. It was okay.
I heard that one wasn't as good.
It was. The one thing about Netflix's movies lately, you cannot say that they're not well produced. Mm-hmm. They don't have good actors in it, and they don't look like big budget movies. It did, however, it did not hold up to what I wanted from the translation from the actual comic to the movie. So going into this, I had reservations, but after seeing Miss Theron in it, I was really happy that I was like, okay, you got her. She's not in crap. Mm-hmm. And I was like, she's one of the, in my opinion, one of the top 10 actresses, pound for pound.
I think she can do everything, which is really cool.
When I think of an actress who is there are very few women who are as versatile as she is when it comes to acting, when it comes to action movies, it comes to drama, it comes to comedy. I mean, you think about some of her best movies, from Monster to Mad Max to, and I'm not saying this is her best movie, but I'm saying she does comedic very well. Long Shot. I was very, very shocked that they were able to get her in that key role. I really like this movie.
Okay.
This is a movie, without saying any spoilers, once I measure a Netflix movie by saying, would I pay to see this in the movie theater? And I would have.
To me, I feel like this is not like it's the same storyline, but like I would put this above Bloodshot, which I enjoyed in the movies. Yeah. So yeah, I would pay to go see this for sure.
Yeah. This is definitely better. Like, the special effects in it were very well done. I have little quibbles with certain things. I thought some of the flashback scenes weren't as well coiffed as like the special effects. So the idea behind the story,
for me, some of the special effects are like, this seemed like a stage production or like a theater. Something about it to me didn't seem like as high quality as the rest of the movie.
So the special effects were done really well. I thought the flashback scenes were a little more Xena Princess Warrior-ish. So, but I thought the special effects, so let's talk about the plot a little bit. Charlize
Spoilers
Theron,
now.
Well, no, sure. I was just going to just do the plot.
Okay, got it.
So the idea behind the whole movie is that these are immortals who cannot die, and if you've seen the trailer, you see them get shot and then they come back to life. I thought the special effects, anytime one of them was hurt, anytime one of them was shot, was well done.
Yeah.
There's quite a few scenes where you're like, oh, y'all really got shot. It
looked good.
It wasn't like, do you remember the 80s movies when like dudes would get shot, you would never see it, and then they would just fall over? And they, like, especially like in Rambo, like Rambo would like shoot a guy with the arrow and he would like,
yeah,
and he would just go down.
That's old Rambo. New Rambo, they'll show you everything.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much. But yeah, I know
that last Rambo wasn't good either. And
it wasn't.
I was excited for that, y'all.
You were.
Ooh, I saw that movie for free and wanted my money back. I will say the special effects in that aspect were really well done. To say that this is a Netflix movie, to me, this was a really good movie.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. One of the things I think it's hard to do with some of these action movies, because we get so many of these, I'm immortal, and like The Last Witch Hunter with
our boy Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Or any of these movies like that, they come off so overpowered. They come off, I'm so cool and I'm so.
Nothing can beat me.
This didn't have that, and I liked the characters. And I knew most of the actors from playing maybe, low, I don't want to say lower tier, but more side characters. And to see them elevated to main characters was very, I identified with them and I really enjoyed them. So I really enjoyed this movie. If I was ranking it, I would give it, I'd give it 4 out of 5 battle axes.
Dang, I was gonna say battle axes. Now I gotta come up with something else.
You can say scimitars.
I don't remember seeing a scimitar.
Well, they were in the cave.
Oh, okay.
I mean, when they went to the when they had they showed all the weapons and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, if I had to rate it, I'd probably say maybe 3.5 out of 5. We'll go with scimitars. That's fine. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I said, it sets up for a sequel. I would see a sequel. I'd be happy with that. Side note, Charlize Theron said that Netflix is working on an Atomic Blonde sequel.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So, yeah.
She actually got the graphic novel for this while shooting Atomic Blonde.
Okay.
And she didn't put it down, and she was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So, I like that she read the source material. Getting into spoilers now?
Yeah. Spoiler alert. All the spoilers. Here we go. Yeah.
So...
Chi-Chi, man, why you did it? Why you did it?
This is the one thing I will say.
Friend of the show, Chiwetel Ejiofor. Go ahead.
Everybody's motivations made sense.
Okay. I'll let you go and then I'll go.
Reason why I say this is because if you read the comic and you watch the movie, everything pretty much lines up. They change a few things here and there, but I thought one of the things that I liked about it was everybody's to me, the motivations for these people lines up. I don't know what it would be like to live over 1,000 years. I don't know what it's like to live past. I barely know what it's like to live past 40 years, because Lord knows I didn't think I'd make it to 40. But to live that long and to see the world change and to not and to want to help. I think what they did, I think they did a good job of showing these people are warriors, these people are immortal. But I think one of the things that they touched on that I thought they could have done better was, what is it like to be alone? And that's something that I think they missed, that I think they did okay, that I think that's what that, you talk about Cheeto,
You can call him Chi-Chi.
I used to be able to say his name perfectly.
Now you can call him Chi-Chi.
Mr. Ejiofor. I love him as an actor.
Oh, he's great.
I think him being morally ambiguous, he does better than anybody else. But there's something to this movie that I think they did a very good job on one end, but did not do a good job on the other end. I loved Charlize Theron's interaction with Kiki Lane, who is Nile. Andy and Nile,
They were fun.
they made the movie. You had if you didn't invest in those two, the movie doesn't work. I think that works, but then I think the other side of it is that they should have done a little better job of like explaining and showing the trauma or PTSD that deals with dying repeatedly.
Yeah.
And then being alone, and then what that does to you as a person.
And I wonder if the sequel happens. I wonder if we'll get that in. I don't want to pronounce her name, Van Veronica Ngo. I don't know how you pronounce that, but
Yeah.
Quinn.
Yeah.
Because she is the one who was captured and continued to drown and then come back to life. And it seemed like that could be what you're looking for in terms of she's repeating the cycle over and over of dying again and being revived and dying again. And it seemed like it probably turned her insane, which is...
Well, we don't know. They inferred that could make a person go insane.
Yeah.
And what I would like to... and so if we're doing spoilers, we know that basically we know the four of them, Andy, Nile, Booker, Joe and Nick.
Not Booker.
Andy, Booker, Joe, and Nikki. The four of them were our team
right.
of immortals,
Yeah.
who every now and then, right or wrong, they're a special ops team, a black ops team. They work for themselves. Booker brings them a job from Copley, Ejiofor's character, and Andy tells him, we don't do seconds. We don't ever go back because we don't want to give anybody the opportunity to recognize who we are and what we are. From there, we realize that they've been blown, but we see one of the, I would say, an awesome action scene that shows you how dangerous someone can be with handguns and melee weapons. So for those of you who play whatever game that's out there that allows you to play with a sword and a shotgun, we see it in real, like, it can work. Then we realize Copley set him up. That's true in the comics.
Okay, so you said you were okay with his motivations.
Yes.
He seemed to me like a guy who was too smart to think that if these people were captured, they weren't going to be tortured. And I was like, I get that he wanted to maybe study them, whatever, but the guy Merrick, who is from Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
Dursley.
If you say so.
Yeah.
I saw it in the trivia. I don't know that because I don't remember a lot of that.
Okay, but yeah, anyway, I was like, this dude looks evil. Everything about him seems evil. He doesn't seem nice in the slightest. But yeah, sure, he's going to be nice to these people. And then he was surprised when they were like,
this is the thing. I don't think he thought that there wouldn't be some pain involved. But I thought from his point of view, he was doing this for the right reasons. The ends justify the means. And I think what he was looking
He talked
for,
about his wife dying, and,
And
he sold that well.
what I thought was his turning point was when they caught Joe and Nikki. And Joe and Nikki were tied up, and they were rough with them. He knows that how they had to catch him. He knows, because he's CIA. He knows what they have had. He's probably done some things. But he looked at the greater good and said, in order for vaccines, these things to work, we're gonna have to you got to break a couple of eggs and make an omelet. But I think he thought once they were in custody, and it was explained to them what was going to happen, they would treat them differently. He did not see Merrick being the sociopath child that he was. Basically, he turned into Joffrey, and in my mind, I don't think he realized he made a deal with the devil, and that's when he was like, "Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have done this." And almost I feel like once you kind of go down that path, it's almost like, and we've seen it with people. I don't want to call out any names, but we've seen it with people through our jobs when it's like, you know where you're going down this road is wrong, but you can't stop. You've made your bed, now it's time to sleep in it. That's how I felt he was. Okay. He had already went down that road, and he didn't know how to stop. And he wasn't going to stop until Niall showed up. And because even then, he wasn't like, oh, I got to do something. And Niall was like, son.
Yeah.
And that's when he realized, because he saw that. He saw the effect that they had. And I agree with you. He was too smart to be that dumb or that naive. And I think they could have done a better job with that.
I want to give a shout out to, I guess, the Marwan Kenzari and Luca Marinelli. Joe and Nikki.
Yeah.
They were a gay couple, and they weren't like a stereotypical gay couple. They weren't played. I had started reading more. A girl who I loved, or a writer who I love to read, you love to read too, Susanna Polo from Polygon.
I have no idea who that is.
Don't do that to me. Don't try to play me. Anyway, friend of the show, Susanna Polo.
Never heard that name.
Yeah, she wrote an article talking about...
Broke my heart when she stopped making them videos.
They were good videos. I wonder, that's a side story. Yeah.
Go on YouTube, type in Susanna Polo on YouTube, and watch her comic videos. Magnifique. That's all I'm going to say.
As somebody who doesn't read comics, she made it very easy to understand for me. Woo. And I'm sure he loved them as getting the nerdy gritty. But yeah, she wrote an article talking about, there's always a trope, and I never noticed this because I'm dumb, but about gay characters being killed off.
Yep.
And they never really they never really get a happy ending.
They fridge the alphabet, people.
And these people here, Joe and Nikki, they do get their happy endings where they're not just killed off because they're gay or anything like that, but they kind of explore their relationship. They started off as enemies.
They started off as enemies.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They started off as mortal enemies, or, immortal enemies, more or less. Because I assume Marwan Kenzari, his character was Muslim. And probably Nikki would have been a Christian because they were fighting in the Crusades. Yeah. And they attacked each other so much.
They killed each other.
They killed each other over and over again, and they just realized that they were inseparable. And they had a really nice love story. It wasn't overdone or understated. I can't remember exactly what Nikki said.
Oh, you mean that speech he gave?
Yeah, I was like, dang, I need to write that for my lady. That shit was great.
She probably shouldn't watch this then.
We watched it together.
Yeah, you can't use that.
But still, he said something about every day he kisses me. It's like this the first time or something. Like, that's beautiful. It was really cool. I just liked that they had a representation in here, and they weren't shortchanged or anything. They got full representation. I thought it was cool.
Greg Rucka, who is the writer for this story, The Old Guard, the characters that he wrote, I saw on screen. They leapt from the pages, and those two characters were characters that he created in the comics, and it was very good to see them on screen. I saw the article you're talking in reference to, and I know from reading and having reading other people's, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Reading other people's critiques of pop culture and art and some of these shows, that is a thing. LGBTQ characters getting killed off, being abused, emasculated to a certain extent, and in this movie, they were represented very well. Not only were they in love with each other, and it was shown on screen, they were. You can say it, they were badasses.
Oh
like,
yeah.
The way they not just Nikki and Joe, the way the four of them moved together, and then adding Niles to their team, the way they moved through enemies was just magical. And the way
very well choreographed.
The way they would pick up a weapon when they would move through Merrick's company, and they would hand one weapon off to the other person. They would just just say it.
Choreography.
Thank you. I couldn't say that word for some reason.
Yeah.
Was so well done, and it shows you how trained professionals and how well they work together.
And they've been working together for so long.
Yes, that it's just natural. It's muscle memory.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. The guy who I really was upset, it broke my heart a little bit. But again, it goes back to I feel like they did a pretty decent job that everybody's motivations. Booker, Matthias, I don't know how to say that last name, so I'm not even going to try.
I would probably say his first name might be Matthias.
I thought I was going to say Matthias.
I don't know.
But Booker, the guy who plays Booker, I like him as an actor. I've seen him in other things before, but he always, I knew he was going to be the one to betray them because I'd read the books. But I did like the fact that he was honest with, he was like, you don't, and that's what I was really alluding to, that I understood Copley's motivations, just like I understood Booker. You don't know what it's like. He's like, we are alone. Nikki and Joe have each other. You have someone to spend your life. And you saw a little bit of it when he talked to Niall about, I have 3 sons, and I've watched them all die. And there's something to the fact of, and that's why I think Andy understood, I want this to end. This is unnatural. And I really enjoyed his point of view. And so I can appreciate this movie, not just for it being a dumb action movie, but because they brought some humanity to, I think, a trope that you don't normally see. Normally when you see these badass, and again, because it sticks out of my mind, and it's the last one I watched, The Last Witch Hunter, there's really no pathos involved. And you saw that a little bit. My only problem was Andy, Charlize Theron's character, was a little too that and did not give answers and answered more questions and fill out that mythology a little bit more.
I definitely have a lot of questions like, so how long do you get to live and who decided when you die? Because we're running out of time because we actually have a show to do. But I
don't care about that show.
One of us cares about that show. But I do have a question. We see that they do say in the movie there gets to be a point where eventually you do get too old. You don't know when it happens.
Yeah, you do die.
Was Andy dying? Because it seemed like she was getting hurt more and more. She wasn't healing.
It seemed like she was dying, but
then she cool at the end.
But the thing is, the question was, Andy said that the reason why Niall showed up, because remember the whole idea was as they were going through their stuff with Copley betraying them, Niall becomes an immortal. She's all the way on the other side of the world, becomes immortal, and they're like, we need to find her because she's out in the open, she can expose us, and we know what that feels like. And Andy says something to the fact of, you were awoken to make me realize what it is to feel again. And I'm hoping that theme goes forward and there's more of a kinship between Andy and Niall, and Andy kind of finding that passion to live again and do, because if you saw in the beginning, she was like, what does it matter? None of these things we do matters. It doesn't change anything. And that's why Booker was upset, because Booker was like, I'm alone in all of this. I've lost my family. I just want this to end.
Right.
Andy's kind of the same way. She's like, it's my time to go, it's my time to go. And we see that throughout time, she has lost people. And those wounds don't heal. So I think that introduction of Niall, shout out to Kiki Lane. To me, I think she did a very good job of embodying what it would feel like if you just woke up one day immortal and everybody turned on you. I mean,
her whole unit was like, dang. dang, that sucks.
I mean, there's so many little things I wish we could nitpick about and say, like, I enjoyed how they showed the Marines and she used women to talk to the women in the villages in Afghanistan to be respectful of their culture and their customs, and how the women moved. And, like, I don't think you guys I don't want to speak ill. I don't know if people understand that those women moved in as a unit like that. And you saw them move just as well as the Immortals moved, because they had done this countless times.
Right.
And I thought that was really well done. Shout out to, we got to wrap this up, Gina Prince, Bythewood?
Blythewood, I think.
No, there's no L. Bythewood. So she directed the movie. Go to 1A on NPR. They did a very good talk about what it was like having her, and she's also doing another movie. She also signed up to work with Viola Davis.
Okay.
So go check out some of her work. You want to wrap this up?
Yeah, that's it for us. We'll have more videos as more stuff comes out. We back, y'all. It's been a minute, but we back.
Are we?
I think. I mean, kind of. We might do a press play Friday, right? Maybe. I don't know.
Back?
I don't know. But you can always find us here on YouTube, also Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, WOTX.com.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Hit that bell button wherever it appears on your screen, and we out.
Probably over there.